Welcome back to the Urban Farmyard, where this city girl goes country. In today's video, we are figuring out whether your new cat or kitten is ready to go outside. Let's take a look. Hi guys, well if you have brought home a new cat or kitten recently, at some point you are going to need to make the decision on whether they are ready to go outside. Now this is not just as simple as opening the door and booting them out. There are some things that you need to plan for in advance, and there's also some decisions that you need to make around releasing them into the outdoors. First decision you need to make is whether your cat or kitten needs to be an indoor-outdoor cat. Now it's a common misconception that cats have to have access to the outdoors. It's true that some do thrive being outdoors, but a cat that's only ever been kept inside actually adapts really well. So it's worth considering whether you even want to introduce your cat to outdoor life, particularly if you live in an area that has predators. If you've decided that your cat or kitten should have indoor-outdoor access, there are a few things that you need to bear in mind. First of all, you must keep them inside for a minimum of 4 weeks after you bring them home. So do not let them outside at all under any circumstances for the first 4 weeks. The reason for this is cats see home as a physical place, and it usually takes them about 4 weeks to realise that their new home is actually their new territory. When they first come into your house, they see their home as the place that they have previously come from, whether it be a foster home, a breeder, or a rescue centre. So first of all, keep them inside in lockdown for that first 4 weeks. When that 4-week period's ended, you then need to assess whether your cat's ready to go outside. The first test I have is your cat big enough and assertive enough to cope with being bailed up by a local neighbourhood cat? Now that's a particular consideration for kittens. Kittens, if you've adopted them really young, take a while to grow, and they take a while to grow in confidence as well as size. As a rule of thumb, I tend to keep kittens indoors until they're about 6 months of age. By that stage, they are a reasonable size, they are reasonably confident with the world, and in most cases they can probably cope with a run-in with a neighbourhood cat. The next thing you need to assess is whether your cat is confident enough to be out on their own. Some cats are really confident, really outgoing, not at all concerned about noises and sounds and people going by that they've never met. That kind of cat can probably go outside after 4 weeks, but more timid cats are probably best kept inside until they grow in confidence. A rule of thumb I have is that your cat must be confident enough and reliable enough to come to the sound of you calling them. If your cat doesn't come when they are called, they are not yet ready to go outside. After all, you need them to reliably come back to you once they do have indoor-outdoor access. The next consideration is, are they desexed? Your cat or kitten must be desexed before they go outside. The reason for this is, well, I think quite obvious. You don't want them breeding, and they can breed a lot younger than what you may realise. A young female cat can fall pregnant by the time she's 6 months old, so it is really, really important that you get her fixed. When it comes to male cats, while you're not worried about them falling pregnant, you don't want them getting other cats pregnant, and you also don't want them going wandering. Once they hit sexual maturity, a cat is basically driven to find himself a girlfriend, and he will travel for miles in his quest to find a little mate. That puts him at significant risk of going missing and it being very, very difficult to recover him. So please make sure they're desexed before they go outside. Your cat also needs to be vaccinated. Cat flu is prevalent, particularly if you're in an area where there are many other cats. and it's really important to make sure that they are protected so that they don't come home with what can potentially be a deadly infection if they do come in contact with another cat who is a carrier of cat flu. The other rule of thumb I have is your cat must be wearing a collar and name tag and must also be microchipped. Now I would argue the more important of the two is actually their collar and name tag. The reason for that is this is an immediately identifiable way for your neighbours to tell that this is an owned cat, and if it comes onto their property or starts hanging around, they can easily pick it up, check your contact details and send you a quick text message. A microchip is a good backup option to that, but it is not sufficient on its own. The reason is if your cat is picked up by someone else, there's a lot of work involved to pick up your cat, stick it in a cage, drive it to the vet, get the vet to scan it, get the vet to check the microchip registry, get the vet to write down your contact details, and then finally give you a call or send you a text message. It is much easier to simply put your contact details on a tag on their collar so your neighbours can get hold of you really easily. Once you've ticked all those boxes, you can make a call on whether your cat is now ready to go outside, but don't just open the door and force them out. We've got a separate video on actually introducing your cat or kitten to the great outdoors, and that's coming up very soon. I hope you've enjoyed today, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.